In my books, there are only two passions in life: good food and my bicycle. Ever since I can remember, I've had a bike. Well, originally a tricycle. I've cycled my way around the world, eating the most delicious dishes from Pakistan's snow-topped mountains to Mexico's cactus-studded deserts. I must be the world's first cycling gourmet. And now here I am back home, keen to discover the amazing food that is on my own doorstep. Join me, Nell, that's Nell Nelson, as I eat my way round Scotland. This week, I'm in Edinburgh, which is a fantastic place for cycling and eating. The city has some wonderful restaurants, and the great cycle network makes getting about so easy. The tour I've cooked up for this week's programme starts here in the meadows with a bowl of my favourite breakfast, porridge, with a difference. Tony Stone is on the meadows most days, rain or shine, dishing up his own brand of porridge from his mobile van. Oh, Tony, I've been looking forward to this.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
Very well,
Good,
thank you.
What can I get for you?
Can I have Cranachan, please?
Yeah, no worries. Want the small, medium, or large Cranachan?
Oh, large,
A large
definitely.
one, okay.
And from here, the programme can only get better and better. I'm off to the local mosque for a lesson in making lamb curry. Then, gourmet French hot chocolate on the Royal Mile. Tomorrow I'm heading southeast to East Lothian for some fresh local winter vegetables that I'm going to bring back to one of Edinburgh's most popular vegetarian restaurants for dinner that night. So is this one of your more popular ones?
This one is almost always number one. This one in brown sugar and cream. And then we get some sweet toasted oats, so we've like...
Oh, delicious. So Tony, how do you dream up all these different flavours?
As a combination, really. A lot of them are kind of traditional ones that we've sort of given our own little twist to, like the brown sugar and cream and the Cranachan.
Oh, don't worry with the top.
Are you sure? Okay.
I'm going to dig into it straight away.
So there's a napkin and a spoon there for you. So yeah, a combination. Things like the white chocolate and hazelnut, I mean, that was kind of a couple of chefs that came up with that one. That works very well. It's all freshly made on site with our own blend of organic oats. And we just cook it the traditional way. Well, slightly untraditional. We put a bit of semi-skimmed milk in there just to give it that kind of creaminess and a good amount of salt. Without it, it almost gives it a little bit of bitterness, you know, and it needs some salt just to bring the flavour out in the oats.
But are you a porridge lover?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've eaten more porridge probably in the last year than I ever have before.
Sure. I love cycling around Edinburgh, and every journey I take, I notice different things and different cycle routes. Cyclists are allowed to use bus lanes, but I prefer my own cycle lane. I'm here in Potterrow to meet Mohammed and his team of chefs at Edinburgh Central Mosque for a cooking lesson. And if I get it wrong, I'll know about it. There are 300 expected for lunch today.
Before we all Muslims start, we have to remember our God Allah. Before we start, we say Bismillah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim.
Bismillah,
Ar-Rahman,
Ar-Rahman,
Ar-Rahim.
and what's that mean?
That's the name of Allah, the most gorgeous, the most miracle.
And we're thanking him before we start.
Yeah, we have to remember every time we have to do it.
Will we say it together? We've got it right. Man,
Okay,
I've got it right.
Bismillah,
Bismillah,
Ar-Rahman,
Ar-Rahman,
Ar-Rahim.
no Wahim. Oh. Oh, I stick my spoon in here.
That's it.
Great machine.
That's a great machine.
So before, did you have to
Before
chop?
we used to chop and we used to do it with the hand.
That must take you so long.
That's it.
Wow, it's brilliant. To the pot.
Yeah.
15 kilograms of onions are fried with several large tins of tomatoes.
Lamb inside.
The lamb and then the spices. So I'm
spices,
eyeing up. I'm looking forward to seeing the spices
And
going
some
in.
tomato puree.
Should have brought my cycle gloves for this.
Come on, come on.
Oh, is this right? Am I doing this right, Ali?
That's right.
It's hot.
Be careful, that's all.
Right. So how many people will this feed?
We've been 100 people.
100? And you've got it on full heat, haven't you?
Enough full heat.
All right, so, oh
Be
gosh,
careful.
no. Right, I don't want to go up in flames. No, is the lamb, is there anything special about the
There is
lamb?
halal lamb.
Is that being killed in a special way?
Yeah, that's like in Islamic way.
What's that way?
We don't shock them, we just kill them. Like,
So there's no, oh right, the lamb coming through. Wow, right.
it's a fresh lamb.
Then 25 kilograms of chopped Scottish halal lamb is then tipped in. This will make curry for over 100 people. That's practically a whole lamb, isn't it?
That is all.
Can't be expected to stir. You need a shovel. Edinburgh is itself a spicy blend of food, architecture, culture, history, politics, festivals, religion and music. And what is so exciting is the city is always changing as people and influences come and go. Right, here we go. It's hot stuff. Right, Ali, you ready? You ready?
Are you ready?
The spices, right.
That's it.
Right, I'll let you
There you
stir. I know.
Turmeric, cumin, coriander, chilli, ginger and garlic all help to give the lamb flavour, and plenty of chopped fresh herbs. But we have a fixed deadline, lunchtime, and the first customers of the day are already lining up.
Our food is from mild to medium. All the food is between mild and medium. Vegetarian or meat? Vegetarian, we have chickpeas, spinach, veggie and dal.
So Mohammed, you've got a great setup here. So
And
how much is how much?
£3. We charge
£3.
£3.
And then we've got what, rice?
Rice, any curry they want
All
in a plate,
curry.
or
So-
they can mix it, then we put a bit of each.
How many, say, in a day like this would you get if I wasn't holding it up?
Depending on the weather, 200 maybe.
No, I worry you're losing customers. We serve. Who's next? That carry out. Oh no, you both carry out.
And we still do the veggies, all the veggies.
Do you like some rice?
I love getting involved, and soon I'm dishing up plates piled high with spicy spinach, fried rice, dal, chickpeas, chicken curry, and of course my lamb curry. What a fantastic experience right here in the heart of Edinburgh. After 9/11, Mohammed thought it would be a great community building exercise to offer food to everybody. And judging by the atmosphere today, he certainly succeeded.
What's your definition of decadence? Mine is hot chocolate in the afternoon. And even more decadent, I'm planning on having more than one. 5 cups of chocolate heaven. So Bertrand, have you always been passionate about chocolate?
No, I've not always been passionate about chocolate. I've always been interested in chocolate. But I really started to have a passion for it, and a great interest for it first about 15 years ago when I came to Scotland for the first time. I worked as a head chef in a hotel on the west coast near Oban, and the proprietor of this hotel had a supply of chocolate from Belgium, a fairly average but good chocolate. And I started to work with it, and gradually I got really a passion.
And then how did you then get from your being a chef on the West Coast to here on the Royal Mile?
Well, chocolatier manufacturer of couverture were now starting to work not only with the strength of cocoa.
Because couverture that's the cocoa butter.
It's the same thing with chocolate. Yes,
And
there's
cocoa
a
butter.
higher content
Right.
of cocoa butter in
Right.
it than your average chocolate bar. And they started to work on the origin of the beans. So instead of having a chocolate made with nondescript beans, probably about 9 different beans from various countries, they will say this is a couverture which comes from this country.
So you could say
origin.
like single malt and blended whiskey.
Yes, you have today single cask malt whiskey, or you have Chateau in a claret, and you have now the same situation with chocolate. And what we're going to do now is to taste some of this chocolate with a different origin. Sam, could you bring us a chocolate, please?
So we're doing a taste.
Bertrand has offered to take me on a chocolate journey of the world, and he's ordered 5 different varieties of hot chocolate for me to taste and enjoy.
Now will you join me?
Yes, okay.
It's bitter. It's not big. There's something missing. I could get used to this. And then,
So what you can do is mix some chili to give some heat.
oh.
In Mexico, they still make it with pure chocolate and
Right.
plenty of
So
chili.
now here we go. I'm going to let you go first. It is, it's nicer. It's almost like the chili, it's like some sugar, and you're suddenly going to hit later. Oh wow, it's good. Now, what's next?
So I will then go for the opposite, the sweetest.
So this is chocolate
This
chaud.
is the generic hot chocolate. It's about 58% cocoa content. It's relatively sweet.
Tastes so sweet.
This is a good chocolate, the sort of chocolate that you want when you have had plenty of snow and cold outside and you arrive here.
That's the chocolate for me. I mean,
You can also add to that a bit of brandy, a bit of whiskey, a bit whatever alcohol you might want to, just to give it a bit of punch. And if you are very, very wicked, you can add a bit of whipped cream as well. Next one is still a sweet chocolate. It's about 67% of cocoa content. But it's a single origin one from Grenada. And it's, for me, an absolutely perfect chocolate.
right. Looking forward to this.
You see, it's very thick, very syrupy. And I just think it's wonderful.
This is like, it's like chocolate sauce. It is, it's chocolate sauce.
It's a very liquid ganache.
Because you call this your chocolate heaven.
That is chocolate. This is, you can feel it. And what is interesting, the same thing with the next one, is to taste the different flavor, the different aroma. Here you are in San Domingo, here you are in the heart of Africa.
Oh
in
wow, so
Tanzania.
now I just leapt from Grenada to Santo Domingo now. It is, it's completely different. It is chocolatey, but I don't have the language. Oh, so what are your words? How do you describe this one?
It's good.
So what do you say?
Don't listen to me trying to describe a cup of hot chocolate. You've got to try this experience for yourself.
Delicious. The only description I can think of to say, it's exotic. So plaisir du chocolat definitely lives up to its name. We'll have a bit of it. Tanzania, it is exotic.
Thank you. And I'm glad you like it.
Vegetables are very much on my mind as I head east from Edinburgh, hugging the coast of East Lothian, to meet Hilary of Now's Farm. Hilary is a bit of a potato fanatic, to put it mildly, and I'm looking forward to meeting her and seeing her produce.
Oh, I've certainly worked off my chocolate indulgence of yesterday. Must have cycled at 25 miles this morning. Now I'm keen to get Hilary's advice on vegetables that will impress a vegetarian chef. David Bann runs his own vegetarian restaurant in Edinburgh, and tonight he's going to show me how to cook one of his most popular dishes. So here's hoping. Hilary, my mission for today is to get some vegetables to take back to David. Now I know you're a bit of a potato lady. What would you suggest? We're having a dish which is celeriac and spinach, and he serves it with roasted vegetables, and he's given me free rein with the roasted vegetables. So if we start with potatoes, what would be a good one to just go in the oven with all the roasted veggies?
Well, I think something with a fairly high dry matter. We've got nice small sacks in here which have been washed readily, and you can just quarter those or half them. The other potato is this Congo Blue, which is a bit of a novelty, but if you're going to roast them, it's quite fun. We've washed these ones just to see this nice blue colour, and inside is the excitement of
Oh, wow.
blue flesh, and these will stay blue
Well, sort of purpley blue, they'll stay.
when you're cooked.
But they sound fun. Can I take an hour? It's about 4. Well, we're cooking for about 4. So let's take a sort of enough.
Yeah.
A little medley. And the key to this whole dish is celeriac and spinach. So I mustn't leave without these.
Well, we've got a basket of fresh spinach, which has just survived. It was snowing yesterday afternoon, but it's. We'll pick it over a bit and maybe remove some of the stalk.
Wow, that is
But
fantastic.
it's extraordinary, isn't it, how it survives?
And I can spy. Now, is that the celeriac there?
And the celeriacs, yep, there's some very, very small. We never can get ours to grow. I think it's climate. It's just lack of temperature here. But the flavour is intense. And if I, let you, this is a piece that's been picked this morning. We haven't trimmed yet.
So you
but
were
just
saying they keep the flavour better if you buy them with the leaves.
undoubtedly,
from the
yeah. A dirty, unwashed, either any root veg will keep longer and will taste better. And not only that, but if it's been washed, it tends to be refrigerated. And refrigeration just kills flavour.
Pulling quite
smell
a few
that.
of those.
Can you smell the lovely celery flavour?
It's a mixed celery. It's a member of the celery family, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it really does smell just like celery.
okay.
Why don't I just take the whole kit, the
I'll
celeriac with its root and
Yeah,
everything?
yeah, and it'll keep very well that way.
And
it
I'll
won't
just chuck
wilt.
a few of these in.
I'll
the
move some of
basket.
my valuable soil, which I shall return to
Oh yeah,
the
you want to
field.
use that? I'm sure you've got more use of it than David has.
No, sadly, in modern terms, soil is seen as a contaminant, and we see it as a protector.
So now I actually need some spinach.
Oh, some
Can I
spinach.
just- yeah, that's another
I'll
key.
tell you what, yeah, we'll bring it up. Just take it up and put it in the pan.
proceedings. Excellent, right.
Head
leave
to
it
the
away.
door.
Farm shops are becoming more common, and they are a great source of fresh and seasonal produce, which has travelled very little distance, which can sometimes be measured in footsteps from where they were growing to where they are sold. Now I'm back in Edinburgh, and I'm keen to see what David thinks of my vegetable selection. I hope that chefs and restaurant owners in Scotland are willing to discover what's available on their own doorstep.
So do we need to peel it or?
Yeah, we're going to have to get all this off, take the tops off and take a good thick skin off.
Right, so I start peeling.
Yeah, choose your weapon and see how you get on.
So David, is it hard to source local veg?
Yeah, I'm just slicing this as thin as I can because
Oh,
it'll
right.
cook quickly. Our suppliers, or most of the suppliers that people use, don't really deal with local producers. But it's all about the taste. If it tastes better, then that's what we're really interested in.
That's all right. That passes the test. That's,
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. Yeah,
acceptable.
we'll cook yours a bit longer. Not so-
Oh, yeah, you've got the knack.
We'll prepare all the vegetables now
Yeah.
for everything. Let's do a parsnip and an onion.
I'm making heavy work of this, I think. I'll stick to my day job. Do you prepare all your vegetables? You don't get any ready bought in?
No. We use wholesalers who do that for us, and we kind of rely on them to give us the best stuff they can. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I mean, for instance, recently we got apples delivered to us that they basically had no taste at all. And it's so infuriating when you get a vegetable that has no flavour. Why would anyone do that?
And the white ball.
Supermarkets probably, because they look nice.
Talking of looking nice, I think my parsnip looks quite nice now.
We'll cut it in half, and then we'll take. You don't want it too big because it'll take too long to cook. We'll put the parsnip and the red onion in first because they'll take longest to roast.
So I was interested that you don't chop it in rings, you put it in chunks.
Yeah, because we want to keep the shape as much as possible. They'll roast nicely and hopefully caramelise a little on the bottom, which gives them a really intense flavour, and they'll become really sweet. And
All the vegetables are chopped, not too big, or they'll take too long to cook. Biggest vegetables go in the oven first. Vegetables are the key ingredients at David Band's, whereas at other restaurants, they are mere accompaniments. It is great to see such a variety of seasonal vegetables being prepared, and the great thing is, they can all be cooked together at the same time.
I'm going to put celeriac in a pan.
Now, for the star of the dish, the celeriac, which is lightly sautéed,
Caramelising on the vegetable.
just enough so it starts caramelising.
That'll take a few minutes to cook down. Add a little cream.
Then David adds a little cream to soften.
Really just want to soften the veg at this stage because it's going in the oven. Just put that back down. Salt. You can see the celeriac beginning to colour a little bit, and you get a little bit of caramelising on it too.
Freshly ground pepper, salt,
Spinach.
then wash spinach.
Wash and squeeze out the water. If you don't squeeze out the water, you just get quite a soggy dish.
Then another splash of cream. The spinach is just wilted as the dish is going in the oven later.
You really only want to wilt the spinach. You don't want to cook it very much at this stage. Okay, I think that's ready now.
So this is Loch Arthur cheddar.
Yeah, this is an organic cheddar. It's got a lovely, nutty, quite intense flavour. And I'm going to cut this quite small. You could, of course, grate this for the dish, but I prefer to have little pockets of melted cheese.
Gooey chunks.
Yeah. I think that the celeriac will be sufficiently cooled. We don't want to put it in where it's too hot, the whole thing will just melt.
It is lovely. It is lovely cheese.
And don't
You
eat
just
it all.
taste Oh, I was backstirring. It is delicious. Right, you're vegetarian, but a lot of your customers aren't vegetarian, are they?
Probably most, I would say, aren't vegetarian. But I think people are interested in experimenting, I think, when they eat out. And it's up to us to make sure that we surprise them and make them interested in it.
Right, so now we've got all this, so we set.
We have to just spoon this onto the puff pastry,
So I pass you the puff
which
pastry.
is here. Puff pastry is not something you want to eat every day. Everything else on this plate is healthy. You know, this isn't unhealthy, but it's quite rich. So we've cut this out. We've just a little indentation like so. We'll just press that in and then spoon that in.
David spoons the mix of caramelised celeriac, spinach, and cream into the metal moulds.
Just lift it off and hopefully it'll stay more or less in place.
Ah.
The idea of the little ring is to allow the outside to puff up round and contain the whole thing, hopefully. So we'll just pop this into the oven.
The skill is in the presentation, and David artfully arranges the roasted vegetables on a plate with some homemade pesto, a drizzle of honeyed balsamic, then the star of the dish, the celeriac, spinach and Loch Arthur cheddar tart. And now we're ready to eat.
Oh, thank you. Cheers, David.
Cheers.
Thank you very much indeed.
That's all, you're very welcome.
Oh, I can't wait and dig in. Oh, this looks. Oh, I can see all the cheese all oozing out. Oh. That's delicious. The textures and colours work so well together. And there's not even a whiff of lentils or hessian about this dish. These last 2 days have been a wonderful mix of city and country cycling, from an intense curry experience to decadent chocolate sipping to a deeper understanding of the tatty, and finally this. And I haven't even come close to what Edinburgh has to offer. So if you're up for the ride, join me next week as I take another bite out of Scotland. Oh, David, I'm definitely going to try this at home.
Yeah.
Because well,